Welcome to the On Deck Podcast, presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with Tyler Wiemann, ready to break down your daily fantasy baseball slate. We've also got some prop bets for you today. It is Friday, August 5th. It is National Water Balloon Day, so I have something. I'm just kidding. There's no water balloons.
Ooh.
Gotcha, though, right?
That would be fun.
It is International Beer Day.
Nice.
Man, did I drop
like
the ball
it.
on not getting us some brewskis for the beer today.
What's going on?
We need to crack open a cold one.
No cookies yesterday. No beers today.
I'm dropping the ball on these national daily holidays.
Is this?
So, yeah.
I can't work in these environments.
Yes, right? Got to crack open a little Coors Light.
What's your favorite international beer?
Coors Light.
International.
Is that not international?
It's a national. It's Coors. It's an American. It's American
it's
brew.
Worldwide.
Come
it's like
on.
Prestige worldwide. What's yours?
It's the Catalina wine mixer. I do enjoy the old Mexican lagers. I would say mine really depends on what's the situation, but if I had to pick one, I'll go a Mexican lager.
Okay. All right. Yes. Sapporo, does that count as one?
It is.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to the Japanese hibachi steakhouse, get a nice Sapporo.
We're going to go sake bombing for lunch? Let's go.
All right, let's
it's
do
Friday.
it. Freaky Friday. Let's roll. All right, let's get to some storylines for today in Major League Baseball because I am not even a fan of either one of these teams, but I'm so invested in this series this weekend against...
Take that back.
The
You are
Padres
now a
and
San Diego resident. You have a San Diego shirt.
Mm-hmm. I do. I'm ready to
wear it.
You
take it back.
So we've got Padres at Dodgers. This series, highly anticipated with the newly revamped and revived Padres lineup that boasts Juan Soto. Going up against the Dodgers. How are you feeling?
Don't forget about Josh Bell and Brandon Drury.
I can't because
Drury's
hitting dingers already. Like
I'm feeling good. I'm excited. It's gonna be a weekend full of my dad and I trash talking each other.
That's right, because your dad's a Dodgers fan.
Yes, my little brother is too. Oh. So he is gonna get in on it. It's gonna be an exciting weekend,
Yeah. So yeah. It is interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a really great litmus test in general for the Padres.
Yeah.
Not so much for I feel like
we still don't even have our MVP caliber player back.
That's exactly
though.
right.
So we'll see.
And I believe the Dodgers are Clayton Kershaw-less.
Yes.
Not that he would have pitched.
Yeah, he wouldn't have pitched anyways.
But but just it'll be good to get that rivalry back up and going with both teams. It's not at full strength, but close to it.
It's definitely going to be a wild series.
Yeah, I feel
energy is going to be high on both sides.
They've gotten heated in the past few years.
Yeah.
There's always been something.
Especially, like, Joe Musgrove is a San Diego kid. He grew up here, and, now he's our ace, too. And he brings such a... F the Dodgers kind of mentality that I think that it kind of goes further into the clubhouse, not to mention that Manny Machado did not like his time in LA.
Oh.
So he's going back there. He wants to beat them.
There's some bad blood.
Yeah.
Well, not bad blood, but as far as baseball goes,
Yeah. My dad's absolutely nuts, though. My dad says that he would rather any positional player on the Dodgers over any positional player on the Padres. He's nuts. He literally says Justin Turner over Manny Machado.
I'm surprised you're still invited to family Thanksgivings. Or are you not? I don't actually know that.
I am.
Well, we'll see how it happens after this year if the Padres end up beating the Dodgers down the line. Let's talk about the Brewers and the Cardinals because they are tied atop the NL Central after the Cards' 4-game win streak and the Brewers' 4-game losing streak. So an interesting one there. And, of course, we've got the Braves and the Mets going head-to-head. It's just an awesome weekend. And we're going to learn a lot about these teams over the next couple of weeks and as we start to get further into the fall. October is going to be here before you know it.
Right around the corner.
So today's slate, we do have a few weather notes for you. Watch out for a PPD at Baltimore. The Pirates are at the Orioles today, and the risk is pretty high. 86 degrees and 73% chance of rain there, so keep an eye on it. Washington at Philadelphia. We've got 87 degrees, 73% chance. Now, I've read some reports that the storm should arrive later in the game or after, so it could be clear. But again, just keep an eye on it. We saw a shortened game yesterday there, so keep an eye on it. Houston at Cleveland, 82 degrees, 39% chance of storms in the general area, but lower risk there. Rays at Detroit, again, lower risks here, 24% chance of storms near Detroit, but not exactly looking like they'll be near the ballpark. Atlanta at Mets, storms near New York, not close to Citi Field as of right now, but something to think about. 63% chance of some storms or rain there. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Let us know where you're headed for your daily fantasy picks for today, or what your favorite international beer is today on International Beer Day. We would love to hear it. Are you a Coors Light fan as well? Apparently that's not international enough for Tyler over here.
I mean, I just think of beers that are from somewhere else, not from here.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying that.
It's available is what I'm saying.
It is.
In other countries.
And there is zero chance I would ever buy a Coors Light if I'm in Australia.
Really?
Have you ever seen the prices of Coors Light in Australia? It's insane.
Oh, yeah. Anywhere else, you got that.
Alcohol prices in Australia are insane as it is. And then you add in the import cost for Coors Light, and it's crazy.
Tyler's got his pulse on the alcohol prices these days.
Spent a lot of time in Australia.
That's true, yeah. Let's talk about our daily fantasy plays for today, and we'll talk about our high-owned pitchers for today first. First high-owned pitcher is going to be Mariners lefty Robbie Ray. He's going up against the Angels today, 43% owned. So a lot of people flocking there, probably because they are anticipating a lot of strikeouts with the Angels playing the way they have, although they had some bombs yesterday. And now Ray is coming off some really bad outings. Gave up 4 earned runs in 2 2/3 versus the Astros the last game, and then in the one prior, also against the Astros, gave up 6 earned runs, including 2 bombs. And that was just 3 innings there. However, prior to that, there's just been so much inconsistency, right? Because prior to that, he had like 12 strikeouts against the Rangers, 12 strikeouts against the A's. So what Robbie Ray are we going to see here today?
Yeah, and that's like one of the notes that I wrote here. The first one is he's a very highly volatile pitcher. Super high ceiling, but also a floor that could be in the negatives.
Yeah.
He can get blown up in the first inning, and there you go. You got -7 out of your pitcher. But he's facing the Angels. One of our favorite teams to pick on. They have a 300 WOBA, a 126 ISO. Literally everybody but Ohtani is meh. And Ray averages 30% more fantasy points at home, 24% combined K rate. We have a 5-star alert score for him. There's a ton of things going into his favor. If he wasn't high-owned, I would be saying I'm absolutely playing him. The only reason I consider not is because of his ownership.
Right. So with his volatility and the ownership, doesn't warrant a place on Tyler's roster today. Or
and I would have a little bit of him still. I wouldn't be totally fading him. But that volatility would have me question.
I'd much rather have the next guy we're going to talk about.
Me too.
White Sox righty Dylan Cease going up against the Rangers today. 41% owned there. 2.01 ERA, 2.02 opponent average, 12.42 strikeouts per 9, and that's the thing that really gets me in this one. I just feel like it could be a day where he just mows down those Rangers bats today.
I agree. And, 25.2% combined K rate is one of the highest on the slates, 4.5-star alert score. It's really just comes down to a very good pitcher against a meh offense. The offense can strike out a little bit too, so I think you got to like Cease.
All right.
The other thing too is that the White Sox offense is starting to get healthy again, so
might have some support.
Yeah, so he could have some run support.
So we're liking Cease for today. How about Brewers lefty Eric Lauer going up against the Reds today? 34% owned on DraftKings, 9% owned on FanDuel, and he's got a 3.75 ERA, 2.30 opponent average. Last outing, pretty good. 1 earned run on 4 hits, 4 strikeouts in 5 innings against the Red Sox. Previously, though, against the Reds, they did hit him. 3 home runs, 4 earned runs. He did have 5 strikeouts in 6 1/3, although he still got the win.
Yeah, and going back to that, the BVP data, in 59 plate attempts, Reds are hitting 306 against him. The other thing that is a little scary with him is 56% fly balls, 29% hard contact. It is a poor Cincy offense, but there are those things in Cincinnati's favor. However, 25% combined K rate, 4.5 alerts score. LineStar projections are liking him. Consensus projections are liking him. There is a lot to like about him. This was a pitcher for a little while that looked like he was going to be an ace for this season. Then he kind of fell off a little bit. So if he's having that emergence again, you're getting him at a fairly cheap price and with some upside.
I feel like even though the Reds got to 3 home runs the last time they faced him, I don't see that happening again.
That's not the normal, for sure. The Reds also lost one of their better hitters in Pham and Drury.
This is a watered down.
So, the lineup that previously wasn't that good is even worse now.
So now that we've given you those high-owned guys, let's give you some low-owned options here for pitchers. We'll start off with Rays righty Corey Kluber. Kluber's going up against the Detroit Tigers today. He's 14% owned on DraftKings, 2% owned on FanDuel, 4.03 ERA, 2.59 opponent average. And hey, last game he popped out the vintage Klube. Give me a bottle of that 2017, the vintage edition Klube.
He's been pitching well lately.
10 strikeouts against the Guardians, gave up 4 earned runs, but got the win. So we're liking those strikeout numbers. I thought, they were a thing in the past, but nope, not so.
No, 5-star alert rating today, 23.8% combined K rate. So K rate's up there with the high-owned guys. In all season, we've been talking about you play righties versus Detroit. It's another righty versus Detroit. He has a great matchup. He's been pitching really well. 2.8 FIP over the last 5. I think there's a lot to like about Klubes today.
Doesn't that sound like a nice vintage bottle of champagne? I'll have the 2017
Kluber.
Kluber.
Yeah.
Pop it open today against the Tigers, folks. Let's talk about Houston's lefty Framber Valdez at the Guardians. 4% owned on DraftKings, 8% on FanDuel. Is that correct?
Yes.
And 2.80 ERA, 2.14 opponent average. Last game, 3 earned runs on 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, and 7 against the Mariners. Now, I did look up the last time he faced Cleveland. It was 3 earned runs on 7 hits. He did give up a home run, 4 strikeouts. Valdez is good.
He is, and he's been pitching really good lately. 2.9 or 2.8 FIP over his last 5 with a 26% K rate. So he's been showing some K upside. We have a combined K rate for him at 23%, and Cleveland is not as good versus lefties. 2.62 WOBA, a 102 ISO, 21.6% K rate. To put that into a little better picture there, the Angels have a 300 WOBA and a 120 ISO. So the Angels' offense is better today than Cleveland's. Solid BVP numbers. There's great StatCast data, 5-star alert rating. So there's a lot to like about Valdez today.
Nice. I like those plays for today. A big slate here, 13 games. How does that affect your pitching situation in daily fantasy? Are you going high owned? Are you not afraid of those?
I'm not as worried about ownership today because it's such a big slate. Ownership will be spread out a little bit more. But I will probably mix some high-owned guys with some lower-owned guys. I do like the high-owned guys. Not totally attached to them either. Mm-hmm. I do like I like Kluber and Valdez both a lot. Mm-hmm. So, I'd probably sprinkle them in with some of the high-owned guys.
All right. Now it's time to take a look at our hitters and take a look at these stacks. We'll first talk about the high-owned stacks in daily fantasy and where the field is headed. They're going to the Royals, going up against Boston righty Josh Winkowski, who's got a 5 ERA, 294 opponent average. Lefties hitting him just over 300 average. I can see why people might be liking the Royals today.
Yeah, and Royals are swinging the bat well. Winkowski's been really bad, as you mentioned. His FIP is the number of the beast, 666.
Oh, man.
Bottom 5 in average exit velocity, bottom 10 in barreled balls. So it's really not a good combo when a team's swinging the bat well, and also you have a guy that's allowing a lot of barreled balls and a high exit velocity.
You had me. You convinced at 666, Tyler. I'm not going to lie. Let's take a look at the other high-owned pitcher for today, or the high-owned stack, rather. The Rays are going up against Detroit's righty Brian Garcia. Just one game of data for him. He gave up 2 earned runs and a home run in 3 2/3 against Toronto, so they got to him last time. So yeah. I can see why people are headed to the Rays as well.
Yeah, and I mean, Garcia just isn't a great pitcher. Tampa Bay has a 160 ISO versus righties, which is above league average, 4.6 implied total. And there's some nice value with Tampa as far as an offense, so it's a cheaper offense where you can still pay up to get some pitchers.
And no satanic inferences with that one? Okay,
no,
we're safe.
We're not going there.
You're talking to somebody who's watched The Exorcist a ton of times, so I'm very superstitious about that stuff.
Well,
got to
watch
be.
Out.
Low-owned stacks for today. Here's where we can get a little value, maybe get a little leverage. Let's talk about the Yankees going up against St. Louis righty Dakota Hudson. Hudson's got an ERA over 4. His opponent average is 256, although when you look at what he's doing against righties, they are hitting him at a 293 clip. Now, against the Nationals, he gave up 2 earned runs, including a home run. Versus the Dodgers, I looked at that one because I felt like their offense was a bit more comparable to the Yankees. They did give up 4 earned runs, including a home run there as well. So the Yankees, we know what they're capable of on offense, and against a guy who's given up a nearly 300 average to righties.
Exactly, in a lineup that has a lot of righties. Their bullpen is also meh. Yankees crush righties. Hudson's bottom 20% pitcher in average exit velocity and barreled balls versus an offense that hits balls hard. So it's not a great combo. 5.26 ERA over the last 5. He's been poor lately. We have warm weather in St. Louis. I think there's a lot to like about the Yankees here.
All right. How about the Braves going up against Mets' Taijuan Walker? Now, Walker's got good numbers, 2.79 ERA, 2.31 average. Last game, he did give up 3 earned runs on 7 hits, including a home run in 5 2/3. What do you like about this particular play for the Braves bats?
Now, this one and my next are both going to be very low owned, but they're good offenses, and they can absolutely get to these pitchers. So Walker is a bottom 10% pitcher in allowing barreled balls, and Braves are one of the best teams at making the barrel hit the ball. So he's also bottom 20 in average exit velocity. He allows 41% fly balls. You combine all that stuff with a good hitting team, and it is a recipe for disaster. With how low owned Atlanta is going, I could see them, making a push to be a team that scores 10 runs today.
Sure.
Or not likely, but it's possible. And at these ownerships and say a big GPP, I think it's
and if
not
they hit,
nice,
then you capitalize on that.
It's not a bad pivot here. The other thing is, if the Braves want to win this division, they need to at least split the series, and the fact they lost the first game kind of makes this a must-win for them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's talk about your Padres.
Yep.
Of course we got to mention the Padres going up against Dodgers righty Tony G's on the hill today.
Tony
for them.
G.
He's got a 2.41 ERA, 178 opponent average. He's gotten hit, though, since the All-Star break quite a bit. 3 earned runs and 5 against the Rockies, 4 earned runs against the Nationals. He gave up a home run in both of those games. Now, I vaguely remember you talking about him in terms of a player that might regress. Are we seeing that?
And that's exactly why he's here. He, for all season, he's been one of the pitchers who has had a really good ERA. And the FIP has been quite a bit higher. It hasn't been bad. It's been a solid, above average, good pitcher. But we've finally seen a regression there. He has a 4.4 ERA over the last 5. The FIP is right around there. And in 53 plate attempts versus the expected lineup, the Padres have a 300 average, 2 home runs, and a 240 ISO. So they have hit him well. Might be a little bit of a homer here, but Tony G has been slipping of late. And if we can get into that Dodger bullpen a little bit earlier with some of the new hitters that work the count a little bit more, more pitches thrown earlier in the game, a little quicker into the bullpen, it'll be a good thing.
See, I listened to you on this show. I remembered. Oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for all of that analysis and information, Tyler and we use the LineStar app, especially with those ownership.
Yes.
That's so crucial in daily fantasy. So make sure to check out LineStarApp.com. And also lock in your subscription now. It's $19.99 per month, and that will go up for football season. So lock it in now so you can save $10 a month and also crush your daily fantasy.
Yep, it's 1 month till prices go up.
All right, let's use the LineStar app to pick out our sleeper picks of the day. Our sleeper pick of the day for both DraftKings and FanDuel. LineStar is telling us it's the same guy, and that's Baltimore Orioles outfielder Terrin Vavra. $2,000 on DraftKings right now, going up against Pittsburgh's Mitch Keller. If we pull up his player card, you'll notice he has absolutely crushed it the past couple days in daily fantasy. The blue number, again, is the fantasy points, and the purple number there is our projection for him. So he has surpassed his projection every single day. 13 points one day, 9 points the other day. He's been on fire. As you can see there in the alert score, it tells you basically just what I just said, which was he scored 9.67 fantasy points per game the past 3 games. And we can see why our alert score is liking him today, giving him 3.5 stars for this top 15% hitter versus right-handed pitchers. And the Pittsburgh bullpen, 30th against lefty bats, giving up 3.28 fantasy points per game. So bodes well for him. And check it out, batting .333. Anytime there's somebody batting above 300, that's, pretty good.
And hitting .429 with the splits and 12 plate attempts. So he's done well. Also super low ownership.
And $2,000. Yeah, the low ownership. Take a chance on Vavra.
And Baltimore's been a good team lately.
Take a look at that. Just also keep a note. There is some weather alerts for that as well. So keep an eye on that. And so that is our sleeper pick of the day. Again, we're just using the LineStar app to sort by value, and it spits out the best players. And it's a great tool for daily fantasy. Be sure to check it out at LineStarApp.com. Now it's time for our home run calls of the day. Who's going yard today on this Friday, August 5th? Tyler, where you headed?
All rise. Aaron Judge is hitting one out tonight. Judge is insanely hot, hitting .360 over the last month with 14 home runs. The guy is on fire and facing a pitcher who's bottom 20% in barrel balls allowed. I think Judge tees one up today.
All rise.
All rise.
You really can't go wrong with an Aaron Judge.
And
does he not hit a home run? It's just a great.
I gotta go chalk. I've been off a little bit. Judge is gonna hit over 60 home runs today. He's gonna hit one today.
Well, yesterday you picked Kyle Schwarber.
Yep.
That's who I'm going to today. I'm going for a Schwarbomb. I think he's definitely going to hit one today, going up against Washington Nationals righty Josiah Gray, who has the 5th highest home run per 9 rate among all pitchers, minimum 40 innings pitched. And he certainly has the highest home run per 9 rate on the slate for today. So we're looking to Schwarber to get to him here. Not to mention the Nationals bullpen also has the 5th highest home run per 9 rate. So it's not even just Josiah Gray that we're capitalizing on here. And Gray has significantly worse splits versus righties. I haven't even started talking about how awesome Kyle Schwarber is. That's the other part of this equation here. He absolutely crushes righties. 25 of his 33 home runs this season have come against righties. He's got a .550 slugging against them. And Schwarber against Josiah Gray is 4 for 8 with 2 bombs. Man, he's crushing one today for sure. So we got Schwarbomb and an all rise for the judge.
Yep, let's do it.
Let's go.
Lock it in.
Now it's time for our prop bets of the day. Make sure to play along with us on our prop bets contest, and you could potentially win $60. If both Tyler and I hit our props for today, then one lucky commenter on our YouTube channel can win $60. So all you have to do is like our video, be subscribed to our channel, and comment below. Could be anything. Just give us a thumbs up, whatever works for you. And remember, all of our picks are available at the Underdog Sports app. If you don't have it already, what are you doing? It's available in most states. I believe 41 states. I know here in California it's not legal, but Underdog is, so we place our props there. So make sure to download that. The link is below to that. And new users who deposit at least $10 can get your deposit matched up to $100. Use promo code LineStar. All the info for that is below. So prop bets for today. Tyler, where are we going for prop bets?
Well, I think you need Underdog today because this line is way too low. I'm going with one of my low-owned pitchers in Framber Valdez over 4.5 Ks. Valdez has hit this in 9 of his last 10 starts. Sportsbooks have it at minus 180. This line is just way too low, and Underdog is going to pay for posting it.
Yep. I'm also finding some pretty good value on Underdog Sports app with Brandon Marsh over 0.5 hits. That's at minus 140 on DraftKings Sportsbooks. So you're getting some good value on Underdog there. This is another example of a lefty bat going up against the righty Josiah Gray for the Nationals. I picked Kyle Schwarber for my home run call. And again, I'm going to another lefty bat with Brandon Marsh here today. Josiah Gray gives up a ton of power to lefty bats, a 952 OPS. So for Brandon Marsh to hit that, now he already got a hit. He's adjusting quite nicely to his new squad with the Phillies, and he got a hit yesterday. All he's got to do is get one hit today. That's at 0.5 on Sportsbooks. He's been hitting 300 over the last week, so we're going Marsh, getting a knock today for the Phillies.
I like it.
So,
Underdog's going to pay.
Underdog, we're going to make him pay here. Yep. And remember to like, subscribe, and comment below on our YouTube channel to sign up for that, to enter in to win $60. We've had some winners this week, so you got to be one of them. Make sure to comment below. And just comment below anyways. Let us know what your favorite international beer is.
Yeah. Let's hear it. I got another one for you that I like.
Oh, another.
Yeah. Hinano.
Hinano.
Yeah, it's a Tahitian beer.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. It's delicious, and it is cheaper than bottled water when you're in Tahiti.
I'm going, we're still going with the Bottle of Club today.
Bottle of Club?
Cork Club
like
or Vintage 2017. Lock it into your daily fantasy.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. We will see you next week. Good luck in daily fantasy and all your prop bets. We'll see you.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.